All right, we are here. We are Galexis, and welcome. Welcome to our June 2020 video blog. And the title of today's sharing is Spiritual Antibodies. We came to a realization of this topic when we were talking with one of our dear ones in a private session that she regularly does. And we had given her a technique to expand and lift her vibration and, in a sense, protect her from negativity and doldrums and all sorts of emotional downs and health downs, so that she can just stay up and stay vibrant and healthy. And indeed, her energy field was brilliant. It was beautiful. It was huge. It was luminous. And we didn't know she had been doing that every day since the previous time. So when we asked her and she told us that, we said, that's quite amazing. You have built up your self-image, you've built up your light, you've built up your power. This is really good. And so then she surprised us with her next question, and her question was, have I been exposed to this COVID-19 virus? Have I built up antibodies to the virus? Where am I in relationship to that? And since we have looked at the virus in different people, we've known several dear ones who have had it and who have been exposed to it. It has a certain signature, energy signature. So we looked, and no, she didn't have it. We said, we don't see that you were physically at all exposed to this virus. However, when we looked at her and and the way you do it is you bring up the virus. We call the virus in, because we knew what the virus pattern looked like. We called the virus in, and she didn't have any connections. She hadn't been exposed to the virus, but we realized that she was, at that moment, she had spiritual antibodies. Now, of course, when you test for the virus, you can test to see if you've been exposed, because if you've been exposed, you have antibodies, right? Well, she had antibodies to the virus, but it wasn't physical. So we realized that the technique we were giving her, which is generally for protection from negativity, was also protecting her on a larger scale, and had already encountered the energy of the virus, but not the physical components of the virus. So we decided that this is something we need to share. So we're going to tell you today how to build up your spiritual antibodies and why. First of all, we just want to point out a virus. They say a virus isn't alive. But it is made of live material, and it has an intention, and it acts like a parasite. It has a host, and then it utilizes a host to duplicate itself, and then it bursts out of the host, finds another host, and continues. Now, a virus is an energy. When everything has a vibration. Everything that has a positive vibration, negative vibration, a collection of frequencies, everything has its own frequency. You as a human being, you specifically, you have a frequency that's different from another person. Everybody is different frequency. Human beings have a different frequency band than animals. And every animal, every plant, every virus, bacteria, or infective factor, has its frequency. It has a particular frequency. Now, one of the things about a virus, too, is that a virus is a collective. In other words, it needs to spread from people to people, and so it needs to be able to have a community to work in. If it's only in one community, if there's a group isolated, it only can work in there. It can't jump to another community miles away. So in the past, that if you quarantined a village, then you pretty much could get rid of it. of a virus or some kind of horrendous seeming disease, or that was in an epidemic form. But this time, one of the things that's interesting about this virus is that the whole world has gotten revved up about it. And so in a sense, the energy of the virus, the frequency of the virus is now worldwide. But we haven't ever seen anything like that before. You know, MERS was isolated there, and Ebola was isolated there. But this one, just all over the place. So as a collective, as a community, it means the whole world community is harboring the frequency of this virus. And this virus, the uniqueness of this particular virus and all its mutations and different versions and so on, as it mutates and changes and shifts and so on, according to its environment, forms a package. It's like a viral package. And this is the viral package on a collective energy level is spread throughout the world right now. And so viruses have some kind of, they have purpose. They're not just here to create annoyance and hurt people. Viruses have been around from the get-go. They're part of all the life on the planet, and actually you need viruses, bacterials, and all sorts. You need parasites, you need flukes, you need all these worms, and you need all of that. While they are, they live in you, they work on you, and they build your immune system. If you didn't have any infections at all, if somehow or another you could be kept completely free from infections, you could not digest your food very well. You would not have an immune system that could function. They do present you the opportunity to build up your immune system. And they also present you the opportunity to absorb their particular frequencies. And because they're caught from person to person, and this is a collective energy, very often because you belong in a collective, you're going to be affected by the vibrations of the collective. And so the whole vibratory package of COVID-19 is spread all around the world, and it's coming to you to present you, actually, the opportunity to build your immune system, as a collective. Yes, it may come to you personally, but you see, one of the wonderful things that is going on with the evolution that's happening, that you as spiritual beings are making an expansion of your consciousness so that you are no longer at the mercy of the mainstream collective, but you are at a place where you can affect the collective in a positive way by your vibration, by your evolution, lifting the whole collective up. And so this COVID-19 virus package is presenting you with what's going on in your collective world right now to offer you the opportunity on a spiritual level to up your game, to up your awareness, to raise your consciousness, and by also interacting and interfacing with your reality to lift up all the reality. Now, that sounds like a big job, we understand, and we don't want you to think that this is a burden of any sort. It isn't. It's an opportunity, right? So don't really judge the COVID-19. It is a representative of what is going on in the world, and it is offering you the opportunity to raise your frequency. In a physical sense, of course, it can bring you the opportunity to die if that is on your agenda, or opportunity to fulfill your script. If you have a life script of always being weak and catching everything that goes around, and this is the way you see your life, well, COVID is going to come by and say, you called, and it's going to offer you the opportunity to once again prove to the world that you're this person who just catches everything that goes around. If you also, in a sense, feel that if everybody is hanging out with this virus and so on and have to get it, it's like there's a sense of, well, I belong to the community, and so this virus is part of the community, and when the virus presents itself, it feels okay. I'm just part of the community. This is my almost a mark of belonging, because I got a community disease. So this works on different levels, conscious, subconscious, and especially in the unconscious mind, because it's in the unconscious mind that the collective beliefs, thoughts, and attitudes, and orientations, and philosophies, and everything like that are translated into physical form, right? So if you want to manifest anything, you have to work in the collective, in the unconscious mind, to move it up through into the physical. And so the opportunity here is for you to, in a sense, shift the frequency so that in yourself, so that the frequency of the COVID-19 is not harmonious with you, that you are not vulnerable. And the theme of this, if you notice what's going on in your culture, is that there's a tremendous amount of turbulence, chaos, negativity, craziness, change, all sorts of things are going on. There's dark stuff, light stuff, everything. It's the whole world is in kind of an upheaval at this point. And so COVID comes very conveniently at that point. Generally, viruses are oriented around rage and powerlessness. And so if you are feeling fear about, oh my gosh, I might get the virus, I've got to hide, I've got to wear my mask, I've got to do all this stuff, I can't see my friends, I've got to isolate myself. If you're in that place, if you've been really scared, and media can scare you pretty well, if you've been really scared, then you're vulnerable to the virus. Ironically, okay, if it's like a terrorist, you know, and you don't know where it is, it's hovering in the dark, and it could jump on you anytime, and you can't see it, but it's out there, you know. That type of victim consciousness, which is being perpetrated tremendously through the media, is also making your immune system more vulnerable, immune system weaker, in a sense, and more likely to accept the offering that the COVID-19 brings you, should it show up at your door. So that's one thing. And the powerlessness, that's the powerlessness. You can feel powerless. But then there's the rage. The rage is this sense of, it's not right, it's not fair, there's something being done to me and I'm really angry about it, and my power to do whatever I need to do has been taken away from me. And so there's a lot of people in rage as well, all around the planet, just totally enraged. And they can be enraged at the virus, but actually the rage itself has come first. The rage has been at governments, it's been in relationships, it's been at anything that's not going correctly. There's been outrage, and outrage is a positive thing. You're outraged when people come in and trash your environment and make your air and your water and your earth toxic. Yes, that's an outrage. You're outraged if the government comes in and basically shuts you down because you're somehow or another not conforming to some kind of local regulation or that they make up or whatever. That can be like, it's not fair, you're enraged. So, and one of the interesting things is that it's kind of divided along political lines. Very often the left wing is made to feel more powerless, and the right wing is made to feel more rage. And so as a result, you've got tremendous conflict and tremendous imbalances and negativity flying back and forth and so on. And these are like radio waves. You know, if you have for a radio station, you want to tune in on a particular frequency, and then you get the station signal really clear because you're tuned into the correct frequency. Well, just think about all these frequencies of rage, all these frequencies of powerlessness and fear and terror. Think about all that's moving around the planet right now. All the people who've lost their work, all their jobs, they don't know where their next meal is coming from. People who have whose lives have been destroyed in one way or another by political things going on, and et cetera, and they're helpless. It's a huge mush of negative stuff moving around, chaotic stuff moving around in the vibrational atmosphere. If your radio station, if you are tuned to powerlessness and fear, or rage and anger, if you're tuned to these stations and you're continuously in outrage, but you're feeling powerless about it, and so you're just angry and feeling powerless, you are at very high risk, spiritually speaking, for catching the negativity of your culture, of your whole community, and it puts you open to physically receiving, much more likely, a negative response, a difficult response, if you're exposed to the COVID-19 virus. So the thing is that most people that have been in natural holistic health know that you can build your immune system, and this can make you feel more confident, can make you feel more strong. Your body's capable of handling on a physical level what viruses and bacteria and mold and all those other things that can really knock you down can do. And so we highly recommend that you do build your immune system, and there's on a physical level. But energy healers and spiritual healers know that by healing with using a person's faith, their belief, their openness for higher vibration, by enabling them to lift to a frequency above whatever the disease frequency is, that disease package, whether it's cancer or diabetes or whatever. When you're raised to a higher frequency, that the disease either goes away or it disappears, or it becomes more or less neutralized and doesn't seem to produce damage. There's a whole bunch of frequency medicine practitioners out there discovering particular ways to create healings through numbers, through various microcurrents, and various frequencies. You've got Rife machine, you've got frequency specific, you've got radionics. All of these things are like frequency healers, frequency raisers. And everyone knows that if you have love and faith in the divine and so on, and you really accept it, you can have a miraculous healing. Your frequency lifts above the disease instantly. So everyone wants miracles, everyone wants healing. So what we would like to suggest here is that there is a technique that we gave our dear one for her to do every day, and this holds your resonance up. It gets it up. It holds it. And it's not just as far as health is concerned, but about just general well-being, general happiness, contentment, keeping your physical vitality, keeping your motivation, your spiritual orientation, keeping things up, keeping things on a higher level. And so therefore, if you can raise your spiritual immune system above the frequency of the virus, what we can sense is that it's very possible, very likely, that if you're exposed to it, you may not even get symptoms, or may very mild symptoms, because you won't be at the mercy of the rage and the powerlessness. because you won't be buying into the frequency, that the frequency package that the coronavirus brings you. There are some people who just never catch colds. Other people get a cold every year or a flu every year. How about if you lift above? How about if you can hold your resonance up there, and that strengthens your physical immune system along with working diligently with your physical immune system to strengthen it. And you can go online and find all the good things to do, like the vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin A, bioflavonoids, zinc, etc. You'll find all of this everywhere you need, with detailed instructions on what to do with it. So if you do that and this technique we're going to share with you, we think that you can too develop your spiritual antibodies. You will encounter the virus on a spiritual, energetic level, and you will build up your antibodies to it on that level. And this can give you a tremendous heads up as far as keeping your health and vitality as well as your sanity clear during this very turbulent, overwhelming change time. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to ramp up your spiritual immune system. We're going to take you through this. It only takes a few minutes. And we suggest that you do this, or a version of it, your choice, every day. And maybe multiple times a day if you're under a lot of stress and you feel like you're not getting your energy up. But don't use it and then say, okay, I'm invincible, I'm strong, I don't have to wear a mask, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to do any social distancing. Don't go there. That's ego, okay? It may be that, the virus can go through any mask, but it may be that the masks actually form a community function that give a signal of safety, and therefore it may just be a placebo effect. But dear ones, placebo effects are generally more successful than the drugs that are given for the same condition. All right, so do not pretend that the form is irrelevant. Wear your mask out of respect for others. Don't freak them out. And think of it as a placebo effect. If I wear my mask, I am protected. Give yourself that if you choose, if you feel nervous about it, if you feel uncomfortable. You see, it's again frequency. Placebo effect is frequency. If you have a placebo effect that you are going to be healthy, you are. All right, so please include that in what we do, because this can give you that placebo effect. Own it, play with it, allow it, okay? Because you are the placebo. Your mind, your heart, your spirit is that placebo. And you don't have to fall prey to the COVID-19 viral package with all its darkness, with all its turbulence, rage, and powerlessness. All right, so now we're going to take you through it right now. Of course, if you're in a place where you cannot sit down and be quiet and close your eyes or something like that, you may need to do that before you do these. No heavy machinery driving, all right? Okay, so basically, find yourself in a quiet space, focus, right? And let yourself just settle in, close your eyes, and do a relaxation breath. Focus on your breath. And you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you just let it go. Just relax it. Don't hiss it out. Don't push it out. Just let it go. Just drop. Let yourself just kind of drop. And with that drop, just let yourself relax. So here you breathe in, and then you drop. Breathe in, drop. And with every drop, it just gets more and more relaxing. until you feel the relaxation throughout your whole body, as relaxed as you can. Now, call in your team. You have a team: higher self, soul, spirit, guardian angel, guru, spiritual teacher, spiritual friends and allies, counselors, guidance, mentors, various guides and spiritual beings who love you, those from your spiritual family. Call them all in. You may not know their names, you may not know all who are part of your team if you haven't really worked with it, but just call in their team right now and say, all right, I call in my team. And just imagine a whole bunch of light surrounding you. You can let us join. And to let us join, you just imagine yourself surrounded, floating through a sea of stars, surrounded by beautiful stars, feeling safe, feeling loved. And some of these stars go together out of position, and they create a big star, a big ball of stars. That's the way we show ourselves. And we send you light to surround you, to swirl around you in perhaps your favorite color, or appropriate color at the time, or maybe the purity of white and pearlescent. Let yourself be embraced energetically, spiritually by your team. Know that they're there. Let yourself imagine that. Fifth dimension, imagine it. It's outside of time, space. Imagine it. Receive that love from them. Just imagine what would it feel like if you were surrounded by people who loved you, and they were all just sending their love to you, cherishing you, loving you, and you were safe. How would that feel? Just let yourself imagine that. And as you imagine that, allow God, Goddess, all that is, to send you. They send it to you all the time, but it's up to you to receive it. Let yourself receive this light from above. It's maybe brilliant white, pure, divine light from above. This ball of light way, way up there sends this beam all the way down into you, into your crown. Just let it come in, open, let yourself receive this beautiful light. This beautiful beam of light come down through you, all the way through you, down your spine. All the way down, down, down. Perhaps on the outside of your spine, more on the back, but down through, absorbing through all the chakras, through all your vertebra, through your root, going out the base of you, through into the earth, down to Mother Earth. Beautiful beam of light. And light is streaming, and love is streaming through this light. Love is just streaming. It's just pouring through this light. So just feel it all the way down into the earth. And now let Mother Earth give to you her light. Now her light may be another color. It may be rayed. It may be a rich earthy hue, rust or rayed. And it comes up from the earth. And it comes up through the same channel that the white light is. It comes right up through in amidst and joins the white light, but it's moving up. Moving all the way up, maybe even on the inside of your spine just a little bit, but through all your chakras, all the way up, above your crown, above your head, up to God, Goddess, all that is. And now, letting that just swirl up, letting it just move up, just pour up and pour down, feel it up and down going simultaneously through you. Just imagine. Sometimes it takes a bit to be able to imagine these two rivers of light that are in the same channel, moving in opposite directions, beautifully at the same time, creating no friction, no rapids, no turbulence, smooth, up and down simultaneously. Now, focus on your heart chakra, the highest energy on the planet. Indeed, the divine energy that created the planet and created your bodies, created you, the soul that you are, is love. Love is most associated with your heart chakra. And also, your immune system, the thymus gland right there, is at your heart chakra. That's where your immune system can be its strongest. And when you love your life, your immune system takes charge in a beautiful way, right? So feel love, right? Go to your heart chakra and feel love, and feel this light coming up and light coming down, blending. And now let the light just kind of build up in your heart chakra. Let there be like a ball of light being created in your heart chakra, a big ball of light. Feel the love for you that you've received from the God, Goddess, all that is. And love yourself, all right? Now think of everything, every body that you love, every animal, every pet you've loved, every plants that you've loved, the earth that you've loved, even philosophies and grand ideas, and think about things that you love. Who do you love? What do you love? Think about it now. Oh, feel the feeling of love in there. Let it amplify. Let it amplify. Let your heart get big. Heart chakra get big. It just expands beautifully, beautifully, feeling your divine self, feeling the love. And now in a sense you stand filled with this love in your world. And there's a world out there, a world filled with pain and fear and powerlessness and rage and anger. Yeah, there's sparks of love there too. Oh gosh, there's love there too. There's hope there too. There's tremendous compassion there too. But the negativity, the pain and the suffering is so great. The chaos so disturbing, so turbulent. The misunderstandings and miscommunications. So many crises, so many conflicts. Sense them in front of you, sense them around you. You're a collective, everything going on. You, this shining space within that, holding this light resonance within that collective, feeling this love. And out of all of this pain and sadness and turbulence and shame and rage and anger and fear and self-pity and victim consciousness comes to you, emerges out of it, comes to you. COVID-19, the coronavirus shows itself energetically to you. Well, you've seen it numerous times on media, where you've gotten all your input about the coronavirus, where you've bought into either the fear or the rage about it, where you've had to learn how to handle it, think about it, deal with it. It's always the same image, the image of this sphere with all these little knobs on it. There it is, hovering in front of you. You're filled with love. Do not be afraid. Do not be angry. Acknowledge that this virus, it has an intention to survive. It has an intention to give to you something. Do you want an immune system tune-up? It can give you that. Do you want to fulfill the life script of being a sickly person? It can oblige. Do you feel you need to belong to, and you're an empath, so you have to feel what everybody's feeling, all the pain they're feeling out there, and if there's all these people suffering with sickness, oh, you've got to have it too? Recognize the offering that the virus is giving you. Don't just push it away like bad. No, it's not. It is what it is. But acknowledge that it is part of the collective and it is offering you its package. Do you have rage and anger within you? Do you have fear and helplessness and hopelessness and powerlessness milling around in you? If so, you may feel vulnerable to these. But it is offering you these. So unless you have decided that this is your time to go, that it has come to relieve you of your physical form, we would suggest that you respond this way. Essentially, you decide to feel your love, you decide to choose, you choose love, you choose light, you choose a higher frequency. You, in a sense, thank the virus for its offer, but no thanks. And so with that, you now send this love out of you, shining out of your heart. Send it to the coronavirus right there. Just send it to the virus. Send it out into the world. Send love into the world. Send your compassion for all the suffering. You don't have to suffer too. You can be compassionate like the Buddha, like Jesus, like great beings. Have compassion. Send your love and your compassion out into the world. Feel your love and your compassion. Send it out. Now, as you're doing this, the more you send out, the more replenishment you get from above and from below. Because these two channels, these two flowing rivers in this channel going down through the core of you is continuing down, continuing up, continuing down, continuing up. And you keep sending it out, you keep getting replenished, and then there's more to send out. So feel this sense with every kind of breath. Just sense that instead of letting the breath just drop, let the breath send it out. Send this love out. And feel all the replenishment. Feel the replenishment coming as you send this love out into the world. As you send this love out, you're protecting yourself, because if your net flow of energy, of love, is outward, you do not spend all your energy dealing with what you are receiving, and if you receive everything, you're going to have a lot to deal with. So you're going to send, you're going to receive from the divine and from the earth, Mother Earth. So you give and then you receive. And they're going on simultaneously. That is the natural order of things. And as you send your love and compassion out into the world, the coronavirus basically dissolves and it drops down into the lower vibration, out of sight. The collective negativity out there, the darkness, the turbulence, just see it getting weaker, getting it softer. Things are getting calmer. Things are getting more luminous out there. You have risen up into a higher level. You are sending this energy out. Your vibration is lifting, not just you, but it's also lifting your community. It's lifting your world. So feel your strength. You have encountered the coronavirus spiritually, energetically, and now you have resisted, you have interfaced with it, and you have gone to a higher frequency level. You've built yourself up. You now have spiritual antibodies. Feel this. Own this. Own your new level of strength and power and luminosity. See yourself as the giant spiritual being that you are, as a spiritual being who has a physical body and a physical experience, that you came here to be here on the earth at this particular time. And you can gift the world your light and your love. Continue showering the planet as you recognize all is going according to plan. Even if you don't consciously know it, it's all going according to plan. And everything's going to turn out well. Expect that. See, this chaos, this too shall pass. And something better will come in its place. You belong in the new light community, in the community of human beings, in the oneness. This is your world. This is your place. You belong here. You are one in love. All is one. So let yourself now take what you can of this vibration, opening your eyes, returning to your life, your daily mundane routines, whatever. Let yourself own this, that this is who you are, what you're about, and that you are making the difference because you have the spiritual antibodies to the darkness, to the chaos, to the turbulence. And whenever you find yourself getting vulnerable and weak, when you get yourself filled with rage or find yourself feeling afraid of the virus, oh, come do this. And maybe do this every day. You're contributing not only to a more glorious future for yourself, but also a glorious future for your world, so that out of the chaos and darkness will emerge the new world of light and love, leading to a dream future, leading to a beautiful, beautiful future. You can do it. You're ready. You're evolved enough. You came here at this time. You can do this. We wish you all the health and wealth and vitality and joy and celebration that your life can give you. So keep it up, and we'll see you next month. All right, surrounding you with light and with always our love. Farewell.